Honorable members, I would like, I assume that those who are putting their cards intend to speak on this motion. And I would like to give the first opportunity to the member for Dagoretti South, the Honorable John Waweru.
Madam Speaker, I could not be more honored than to get the pole position on this debate, on this ratification, on this convention regarding the handling of mercury by the country Kenya. Madam Speaker, as it is well known to us, the good Lord created this world and provided for the provisions for man and life on this planet to depend on. And in fact, the planet was so well balanced at creation that the balance did not need man to come and balance the planet. However, man has one very curious characteristic. It is curious, but also very dangerous. Madam Speaker, the characteristic I'm talking about is greed. Because of the life we live in, and especially the life we are living in for the last 500 years, what scientists have wanted to call the materialistic age, the scientific materialistic age, we have adopted greed that is insatiable, especially with the formation of a capitalist society. The greed has increased to a level that is insatiable, that is unsustainable. Madam Speaker, it is the great Gandhi, when speaking, who said that this world has everything, enough for everyone, but it has not enough for even one greedy individual. Madam Speaker, the mishandling of what God created stems out of greed, and hence the need to balance the world through laws, through regulations, through statutes, through conventions. Madam Speaker, I am one excited individual, and that's why I'm sitting long hours here, so that we can debate the ratification of these critical and very important conventions, Madam Speaker. These are conventions that have been sitting in desks somewhere. They have been sitting in shelves somewhere. So before we even say anything, we have to commend this committee for an amazing job of reaching out to these shelves where these reports have been gathering dust, pulling them out, bringing them to the floor of the House, and having them debated and ratified. So, Madam Speaker, I would like to thank this committee. You can see their commitment through this debate. You see the members sitting through long hours for this ratification, and I'd like to thank this amazing committee, thank the chairman, its vice chair, and all the 15 odd members of this committee. Madam Speaker, on matters mercury, I would not have added even a single word to what I had contributed to the earlier ratification. But Madam Speaker, it is important to note that mercury as a metal is a special metal. It is one metal that is utilized in so many fields of our life. We find it in our homes, in our thermometers, we find it in hospital, we find them in installations like public institutions, kitchens, and so on. So the handling of mercury becomes one that must be cascaded down to the handlers who handle this very curious metal, even in places where there isn't enough and sufficient training. Because, Madam Speaker, this is an extremely good servant when it is serving man. But when it becomes a master, mercury can become a killer. So, Madam Speaker, I stand to support the ratification of this convention. I'd like to borrow all my contribution notes from the previous debate, add them to this one, and add, over and above that, Madam Speaker, the fact that Kenya does stand a pole position in taking leadership in matters climate change, Madam Speaker. The benefits are there for everyone to see. Clean environment, better health, better living spaces. But most importantly, we ought to remember that there is also money to be made out of this climate change journey. Madam Speaker, Kenya has every opportunity to take leadership on cashing in on the benefits that accrue from carbon credits, Madam Speaker. And for this reason, I support with all my strength, Madam Speaker, this convention that has been brought here for our ratification. And I do pray that after ratification, we shall see a follow-up from this committee in terms of regulations, stemming out of agencies and organizations that have been tasked with policing this area. So, Madam Speaker, I do support the ratification of this convention. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Very well spoken, member for Dagoretti South. The Honorable James Nyikal, member for Seme.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the ratification of this convention. Madam Speaker, this is an extremely important convention. It's a global treaty.